Alrighty, it is day 4. So we are gonna check the rocks today. Mary's feeling a little under the weather, so I'm gonna record this myself as best I can. So I apologize if the video might be a little shaky or off kilter, but we needed to take them off today and at least check the grit, see how things are going. I would imagine we're done with phase 1. It's been about 4 days. We put these in on Sunday. It's Thursday now. So we are pretty sure at the speed at which this runs, the grit is highly likely not doing anything at the moment. So let me pop this open and we'll check it. All right, I needed 2 hands for that, so see if I can pop this open without spilling anything. It always helps to put the little handle on there to get this bit off. Alrighty. Well, right out of the gate, I can see that a lot of the hard edges are gone. Oh yeah, that's smooth. So you can test the grit just by touching it with your fingers. If you can't feel really anything going on, chances are nothing's going on. So let's get this rinsed off. These off. I do this in the driveway because while it's okay for this grit to go in the yard or anything like that, totally fine. You don't want to run it in the sink. That would be bad. All right, let me rinse these off. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, wow. It's a lot brighter than I thought they were going to be. It's kind of hard doing this with one hand, so I apologize. A piece of my amethyst. Oh, cool. Looking pretty good. I'm going to get these rinsed off really well, and then we'll take a look at them. I'll be right back. All right, I've rinsed them off pretty well. I don't want them to get dry, but I thought I would show you what they look like so far. Look pretty good, actually. Don't want them to get totally dry, so I'm going to submerge them in water here for a minute, and then we can actually take a much closer look. But yeah, so far they're looking really good. I like this really dark stuff. And I love amethyst, so can't go wrong with that. All right, let's get these in some water. I have a tiny amount of sunlight, so I figured I would get a little bit of video. I might actually pause getting them in the burnish in the next phase until tomorrow when I can show you guys what these look like in the sunlight. And right now they look great. A bonus piece of amethyst chipped off of one of these, I'm sure. But yeah, that one's so dark. I wish I could, let me see if I can focus on it. Look how dark that is. Wow. Makes me want to do an entire batch of amethyst. Can't get over that one. That one looks great. So hold it up to the light. Wow. Cool stuff. Yeah, so let's do that. I'll just wait till tomorrow. Get these into some good sunlight so everybody can see them. Get you a little bit better view. And we'll run them through a burnish and get them on to phase 2, it looks like. I think they can go into phase 2 now. They look pretty good. So for you guys, that'll be in like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, it's the next day. Much better sunlight now.
Wow.
And Mary's back.
Guy. Hello.
Yeah, the amethyst is looking awesome.
Look how translucent that is down by my thumb.
It's awesome. Really happy we tossed in some amethyst. here.
Yep. When you live in a rural county, it happens. I love that stripe through it.
Yeah, it's
that
cool
like
looking.
solid stripe. That's
Yeah.
really neat. That's a pretty one, and then this one.
That's another one I constantly keep grabbing. It's so dark. Zoom in. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so pretty.
I think there's like some kind of that beeping.
Oh, look, a little tiny guy.
Not sure what that is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull the really small chips of amethyst out, I think.
Ooh, and look at this pretty clear one. Wow.
Yeah, that's not even rose quartz. I mean, it's got a little pink.
Yeah,
to it.
like literally over here in the corner, but it's mostly just rainbow quartz.
I can't even focus on it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can't. It's just going for the background.
Let's grab a big old chunk, because all of these big chunks got less chunky.
Wow.
Big old chunk.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the pinker part running through the middle.
Yeah.
But if you bring this same one down without the sun behind it, you can see a little more of the pink.
Mm-hmm.
On camera, which is the pinkest?
I
that
think up there. Yeah, exactly where you're pointing.
Yeah.
That actually looks really nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty one too. It's interesting to me on how many of these, I'm going to pull these out. I promise I have a reason for doing this.
Okay.
Are they're rose quartz and they have like flat planing on them.
Yeah. It must have been when it was cut or harvested or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what that beeping is.
Yeah. Anyway, here's a pretty one with some schiller on it. I don't know if you can you see that?
Oh, let me zoom in pretty good. A little bit.
Okay. But yeah, it's so pretty. We've got, ooh, this amethyst has, this one is dark in the middle.
Yeah.
Ooh. That would be really fun to, like that shape right there would be a beautiful pendant.
Yeah.
Like literally that teardrop shape would be a perfect pendant.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if I can focus on it. But
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. But yeah, very pretty stuff.
Yeah. I like this one. So now we're just going to toss it in for a burnish here in a second.
Yes.
Let that go for a little bit. Make sure all the grit is off of them, and then consider round 2.
Yes.
So we filmed this before, but we do burnish between every single stage, especially when we're changing up grits. One, we only have 2 barrels for 4 stages, so we want to make sure that we don't cross-contaminate, and we want to make sure that all the grit is out of there as best we can. So we burnish between every single stage. It's not something that everybody does, but we do. And we also use quite a bit more water in there than you would normally use for a tumble. And we're going to do this for about a half an hour to 45 minutes between stages 1 and 2.
Any longer than that, and you can end up, especially the finer you're going with the grit, you can actually end up burnishing off a polish. So you do have to be careful the farther you go into a tumble.
We did that at one point. We actually
We did.
We polished. We went all the way through polish, and then we burnished for like 24 hours. Huge mistake.
Oops.
Literally burnished the shine right off of them. And that was a harder rock too, if I recall. I had to go back and look. But anyway, we're gonna button this up and run it for about 30 minutes or so, and then give them a good rinse. So yes, our burnish is gonna go for about 30 minutes between stages 1 and 2. That burnish doesn't really need to go that long. It's not too terrible if you do let it go longer than that, especially at this stage, because you're not going to really take off any kind of polish. There's really not any polish to the stones yet. Obviously they're a little smoother, but really stage 1 is just to get those sharp edges off of there, and we've got them to where we want them. But we're just going to run this for about a half hour, make sure all the grit possible is off of the rocks, and then we'll move on to stage 2. See you in a minute. They're tight.
This is what happens when a husband is really, really strong. And what's sad is I'm no weakling either, but my goodness, you are very good at making sure that lid does not come off, my love.
Thank you. I used to have an old, kind of a toy rock tumbler. I think it was Nat Geo too, actually. That thing leaked like crazy. A little more careful these days.
Well, there you go.
It's nice and lathery.
Yep.
All right, let's see what the water looks like now.
Yep, that's gray and gross.
That is super dirty. I'll have that too. All right, get it rinsed off here, and we'll go take a look in the sun again. Alrighty. So that was about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if this one is even more clear.
I don't know if I can actually focus on them. Let's see. Not really.
Okay.
No. Sometimes
Well,
I can, sometimes I can't.
You can see we have some really pretty pink showing even just a little bit more now. Plus some really clear. Looks like one of our big clear ones broke up, and we have some pretty little clear ones now.
Yeah, let's dry one of them off. I think we can dry that one off safely.
Okay.
And do you have a...
shirt?
I didn't bring a towel out here.
Usually we're better about that.
So, just so you guys can see, can you set it right here actually on the wood?
Sure.
Thank you. What kind of polish we're looking at? Not really any.
Right.
See how matted it is? I mean, when it's wet, obviously. So, while they look polished in here, they're not.
Nope, not even close yet.
And we keep them wet just in case there's a little bit of grit in there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want it turning into concrete.
Yeah.
So now I need to remove some of the pieces of amethyst that chipped apart. Like I'm gonna take that one out.
Yeah, because he's just so cute, just like he is.
I don't want it to disappear, and it'll go away.
Yeah.
The next couple rounds, and I think we might actually have to add a little bit of.
Yeah, we might have to add a few small pieces.
Luckily, Mary and I have done. Oh, there's the AC again, right on cue. Mary went in and turned off our AC unit real quick. It always kicks in right when we're trying to record something.
Who puts an AC unit right next to the deck?
Yeah. So I'm going to remove those two pieces of amethyst because they would totally disappear, and you can see how small they are now that you have something for
reference.
Comparison. Yeah.
Well, that one has a pretty little stripe.
Yeah, it's got some neat striations in it for sure. Maybe I'll show you guys my amethyst collection
It's
later in this video.
it's substantial.
Yeah, it's good. It's getting there. So now we're gonna
Round 2.
go get our next stage of grit, and then possibly look for some more quartz. I think we're gonna have to add a couple pieces, but Mary and I have done several quartz tumbles now, so we have plenty of quartz we can toss in for just volume. So one of the things we're gonna have to do, I mean, we lost a decent amount of volume here, so when we fill the drum back up, we're gonna have to add some more volume, and we're not gonna do it all with ceramics. We'll use a lot of ceramic, but we save, this is not all quartz, but these are just some of the rocks that we polished. And there's some quartz in here that we can toss in there for volume, like that big piece of milky would be fine. There might be a couple pieces of blue, some good iron stained quartz. Yeah, see, stuff like that. But this is why we keep a lot of it, just in case we need it to for volume in a new tumble. That one's good. I mean, it's really well polished, but it's
well on
it's a
one
nice
side,
size.
but on the back side, it's got
Yeah, there's a
chunky.
concave section.
Yeah, looks
Which
like
will
a
be
tooth.
fine. Yeah, it does look like a tooth, actually. A big herbivore's tooth.
Yeah, maybe this one too.
That's the blue, yeah.
Yeah, because it's got that.
That's some
It looks like a
chips
face.
It does look like a face. So let's get the drum loaded here real quick, and then we'll see where we are volume-wise, and then what we might have to just dig through, and this one might be good.
Oh yeah, that one looks like it'd be great. Okay,
Yeah.
I've got a collection going.
Not a whole lot to choose from,
But we won't, for example, do one like this, which
Yeah.
is beautifully
that's
polished.
a great piece right there. I really like that a lot, and we don't want to make that any smaller. We want to keep that as it is.
Right.
The pieces that we're adding into the drum right now, we don't care if they get kind of messed up again.
Yeah.
Which they're going back into from a polished stage to a, stage 2 grit.
Yeah, and I think this one probably got pulled out after stage 2, the way it looks.
Probably. It's slightly polished, but nothing too great.
Okay.
So let's load up and we'll see what happens. So as you can see, we've lost some volume. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, not bad.
But we're gonna have to add some more to it. So why don't you just toss in whatever you think is gonna be good. And it is nice to have a buildup of pre-polished or slightly polished or partially tumbled rocks that you can go in and toss. Ooh, that's a nice one. Yeah, those will work. We have all sizes. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one, I think.
Whatever you feel
crackage.
Best. Now they're drying out now, which we're not that worried about because again we've already rinsed them, we've scrubbed them, kinda ran them through a burnish. Yeah, a little dry, but nothing too bad. Little piece of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, toss it in.
Oh, dye.
I'll pour some water over it while we wait.
All right.
Yeah, and then we just toss in a few more, I think just a few more ceramics and we're good. What do you think?
Sure.
Anything else you want to throw in there? Well, that's
Not from there. A lot of that is not quartz. That's why I'm kind of picking through this one.
Yeah, that's a good piece.
This looks like granite to me, so.
Yeah, there's definitely some granite in there for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
That's a good selection.
Cool.
There, and we'll
Toss
throw a
in
few,
some more ceramics.
but not much, honestly.
Yeah, no, just we kind of want to, fill those gaps and everything. We're big proponents of using the ceramics. They make the tumble go a little bit faster. It definitely cushions things a bit.
Sort of, even though the
Fills in those
ceramics are hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it keeps the rocks from smashing into each other as much.
Here we go.
And lets the grit do its job. Alrighty. Now we're moving on to stage 2 grit, which is 120-220 silicone carbide, which on Moe's, if you look that up, it's a hardness of 9. The quartz that we're tumbling is between 7 and 8. That's why it actually does anything in there. And this will be the last time we use silicone carbide. We're going to move on to aluminum dioxide after this. Now we're just going to get some water on there. I'll trade you hands. Just enough where you can kind of see it below the surface. In the corner there.
Yep.
And that's it. We're going to button that up and we're going to run this one probably for another, let's say 4 or 5 days probably.
Yeah.
You can run it a little bit longer than your stage 1 because it's not as coarse and it's not going to wear things down as quickly. But I think anywhere from 4 to 5 days on stage 2 is going to be totally fine.
Alright.
And then we will move into pre-polish. And we'll make that, this will be video 2 in this stage. And we'll see you guys for video 3, pre-polish.